I'm Amy Suplee, licensed acupuncture physician and functional medicine practitioner. Today we are going to be discussing small intestinal bacterial organisms, also known as SIBO, S-I-B-O. When people have SIBO, they typically complain of symptoms such as feeling like they got punched in the stomach or the abdominal region. It can be gas, pain, bloating, abdominal distension, constipation, diarrhea, or a mixture of both. SIBO is something that can develop quite quickly depending on the environment. So if you have some kind of bacteria or fungus in the environment, it can have a rapid onset, or it can develop slowly over time as you are feeding the bacteria and the fungus in your abdominal cavity certain foods. Of course, anything bad likes carbohydrates and sugar. This is how bacteria and fungus not only thrive, but survive. SIBO is known as some type of overgrowth in the small intestines, first of all, but it can also be an overgrowth in the large intestines or in the stomach itself. In addition, even though it's called small intestinal bacterial organisms, it's not always bacterial. It can be fungus, there can be parasites in there, and sometimes there are different viruses in there as well. Remember that all pathogens are opportunistic, and opportunistic means that once one gets in, it creates a perfect environment for the others to thrive. So they typically will try to gang up on the person and cause further problems inside that digestive system. So what do you do if you have SIBO? The first thing I always tell people to look for is something in their environment that is triggering it. As you know, I am an expert in occupational and environmental health, and we have found a direct link to microbes in the environment or in the house that directly affect the body. So first things first, look for mold inside your house. You can always hire a mold inspector. They will come with a thermal camera. They will look in the attic. They will look in the crawl space. They will look in the walls. They will look in your HVAC unit. It is a great idea to have your HVAC unit cleaned twice a year. If you do not own your house, you can still do this. You can hire an HVAC cleaning service to come in. It's usually around $399 each time, but it is well worth it to have good, clean air. After you look at your environment, you always want to look at diet. So the best thing to do for any kind of organism that is living in your gut is to starve it out. So bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungus, they all feed on the same thing, carbohydrates and sugars. So things like breads, donuts, cookies, cakes, anything that has a lot of sugar and has a lot of carbohydrates. So what is the best diet to starve these guys out? It is the paleo diet or the keto diet. You want to try to focus on warm cooked foods because in Chinese medicine they say warm cooked foods will digest faster and better and keep that locomotion going inside your digestive tract versus trying to put in something raw. Raw food creates what is called a damp environment. So if you think about a house that has a damp environment, what happens? Yeast comes in, candida comes in, fungus comes in. That's where it thrives and flourishes. So you don't want to have that damp environment. Try to eat warm cooked foods that consist of protein. Fungal molecules cannot eat a protein molecule. It is not food for them. So that is a great thing to eat. Sometimes people will go on a carnivore diet to help their overall health, to make them strong. I do not agree with 100% carnivore diet because there are far too many nutrients and vitamins and minerals that we need from fresh vegetables. But if you try to do a paleo or a keto diet that has warm cooked foods, cooked vegetables, and cooked meats, that will be ideal for getting your digestive system back on track. Sugars are going to be the absolute worst thing to eat if you have SIBO. And I know our society has a sugar addiction. There are so many things on the shelf that have sugars and have these wonderful tasty chemicals in them, but you have to try to get off of sugar if you want to get your digestive system back on track. And it's that important, because if you are not digesting anything, you are not assimilating any nutrients, you are not getting vitamins and minerals to any of your skeletal muscles, your bones, your tissues, or your cells. So even if it's for a short period of time, it doesn't mean that you can't have sweets forever, but try for a week, try to stop doing sugars and carbs altogether and jump on that keto, that paleo diet, just to get everything back. And then slowly you can have your reward system and have a piece of something now and then, a piece of chocolate, a piece of cake, whatever it is that you like. But once you decide to get off of sugar and you start eating more protein, your body should not be craving it as much as it was. So the question always arises, what are you actually feeding? Are you feeding your own cravings, or is it the organisms and pathogens inside your body that's causing you to crave these items? In my opinion, I believe, and science has shown, that these organisms, such as fungus, cause you to have severe sugar cravings. So once these start getting out of your system, the cravings will also go away. The way that you do that is amp up on protein. Try to eat protein at every meal, and try to eat cooked vegetables with that protein. Also, you're going to find that if you have SIBO, you have a really hard time digesting food. It's going to be hard to sit down and have one big complete meal. So I always suggest to try to have small meals. Again, warm cooked food, but make those meals small so your body doesn't have to work extra to try and break that down. Because when you try to put food in, when you have SIBO, you're going to get gassy, you're going to get pain, you're going to get abdominal distension, you're going to feel like nothing is digesting, because it's not. It's full of bacteria, fungus, and other pathogens in there, and you've got to eradicate and get those out first. Okay, so if you have SIBO, there are a number of different herbal and supplemental remedies that you can take that are all natural, that are super effective. In fact, I find them to be more effective than Western medicine and pharmaceuticals. The first one is probiotics. Probiotics are your good bacteria, so you need those in your gut and in your stomach to help get rid of the pathogens. The next thing that I really like are digestive enzymes. The reason is, when you have external pathogens that have come in and inhabited your digestive system, you are going to have a much harder time breaking down food. The reason being, you don't have that digestive fire, that hydrochloric acid, that the chemicals behind the digestion process to help to break down your food. So digestive enzymes will help if you take these before eating. The other herb that I really love for SIBO is oil of oregano. This helps to go in and kill those pathogens that are sitting in your digestive system, in your small intestines, your large intestines, and your stomach. This is extremely effective. And lastly, another thing that I like is bentonite clay in capsule form. This is a binder. What this does is it goes in and it binds to pathogens, and it pulls them out through the colon and out through the waste system. Please be very careful if you are going to be prescribing yourself supplements, because supplements are strong. Even though they are not Western medications, they do have some dangerous side effects if you're not combining them properly and if you're not doing the correct dosages. So you always want to make sure you're working underneath a practitioner. There are going to be times when your SIBO is so far progressed that you are going to need to go to your medical doctor to get antibacterials and antifungals to kill the infection in your digestive system. SIBO can be a complicated illness, so please don't wait too long. If you are having problems such as constipation, diarrhea, gas, pain, bloating, abdominal upset, you do want to get help. I do offer consultations by phone if you would like to get some further help if you think that you have SIBO or any kind of digestive issues, and you can find my information in the bio below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.